Discovering Science, and this is my brother Kevin Fogg. Hi everybody. And first of all, we'd like to thank you for purchasing one of our grab and go STEM packages.
Also, thank you for staying safer at home from our family to yours.
Now, this is a video that we're shooting to go along with each of the lessons that we're doing in our grab and go STEM package. So please pause, fast forward, or even start the video over again if you feel like that might help you with one of our building projects. Now, before we take things out and go over exactly what's included in your kit, we thought we'd show you real quick what you're doing in lesson 1, which is Potential and Kinetic Energy Lab. Kevin has something he wants to show you.
Yeah, this is a special marble roller coaster that comes in the kit, and it's great for all ages, including the younger ones, ages starting around 4 years old, and can also go all the way up to about 10 or 11 years old. This one we have here is the fully built marble roller coaster that I would expect some of the older kids to build at home.
Is that using every single piece in the kit?
This is pretty much using every single piece in the kit, yeah.
But you could build one that's only like this tall, right?
Yeah, when I build it with kindergarten, first grade, they start out by building one about this high, super simple, maybe 10 pieces. This includes, around 50 pieces, so it's a much bigger project.
Can you put a marble in? And
yeah, included a bunch of marbles are included. 2 different locations to drop the marble. You can drop it on one side, get to see something really cool happen. Whoa, look at it go. Using only gravity, right? Well, they learn about potential and kinetic energy. You can also drop it down the little twirling gravity well. Kind of acts like space and the sun, right? Keeping the planets in orbit. And it makes its way down. So there's multiple ways you can use this project, including a hand turn little gear here that lifts the marbles up, takes them all the way to the top. There we go. And drops them down. Look at that, how cool.
Launch 2. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so 3 different locations. Very special, very cool.
We also have a really neat baseball kit that you get to put together. It comes almost assembled. There's a little bit of assembly, and we're going to go over all of that in a little while. But I want to show you how this works. And we did a couple of practice swings before we shot the video, and I did take the camera out with one, so this could be fun. Here we go. I was told that it's a good idea to press it down with one thumb versus your entire hand. Then we're going to set the ball here. Now, I've hit it every time I practice. Woo! And it's gone. Woohoo! So hopefully we don't need to reshoot this video because that ball is gone.
That ball's gone.
But anyway, now we're going to show you all the stuff that you should have in your kit. So we're going to move this stuff out of the way, and we have the kits exactly as you have them packed. So it's a good idea to get your STEM packet and open it up, and inside you're going to find a bag labeled Lesson 1, Potential Kinetic Energy Lab. So we're going to move this out of the way, and right now you should find that package.
Move this?
Yeah, take it all the way down. All right, this is what you should have. In your Potential and Kinetic Energy Lab kit, you should have this bag, baseball bat, and a little tee, the little launcher right here. And you should also have the base. Now, the first thing I want you to do is open this part. Now, like I said, if we're moving too fast, you can pause the video at any time. We're going to open this bag, and if you look down here, there's a little hole right here. It's a little starter hole. You just kind of pull the thing open like this, and you actually have to do a little bit of prep work when you build this. It comes with these 2 little pegs right here. Now, these little pegs are made out of plastic, so when I break these off, we're going to want to recycle them. But if I could press my thumb down on this little button right here, and you might have to have your parents do that, press it down, it's going to snap. It might go inside, no big deal. You can usually shake it out. You're going to want to recycle that. It's plastic. We're going to do the same thing to this one. Now, why are we breaking it when we just got it? Well, those little pieces, getting them into these holes is virtually impossible. So breaking those off makes it really simple to assemble this little guy right here. So we're just going to put the tee right on the stand, just like that.
Easy.
That one is done. Next, you have your baseball bat. No assembly required. It's a soft bat, so it's safe, but still don't go swinging the thing around a bunch of people. You might hit somebody in the noggin. And the next thing you're going to find inside is the ball. And it's a foam ball, so this is pretty safe to do inside, but we want to encourage you guys to go outside as long as you're social distancing and you're not inviting a giant crowd of people. Stay with your family. Go for a walk in the front yard, maybe play in the grass in the backyard. Either way. Now, this ball is one of the first things that I wanted to show you when we talk about potential and kinetic energy. Now, why would I use a ball to talk about potential and kinetic energy? Because when I take this ball and I hold it up in the air, I hope you guys can still see it. When I hold it up here, gravity's trying to pull this ball down. But the only reason it's not falling, why isn't it falling, Mr. Fogg?
Because you're holding it.
Because I'm holding it. Now, gravity's trying to pull it down. So as I lift it up higher and higher, you might say that it's trying to fall, but I'm holding it. So it has the potential to fall. We call this type of energy potential energy, because it's stored up energy just waiting to be released. Even though I'm just holding the ball in the air, gravity's trying to pull it down, so it has tons of potential energy. So grab your ball just like this, hold it up in the air, and we're going to say potential energy. Potential energy. And that ball is up there and it's waiting to fall, but it's not falling. So when I'm holding it up there, it's just standing up there. Potential energy. Now, if I take the ball and I drop it, it's not just sitting there anymore. It's not energy waiting to be released. It's energy in motion. And scientists have a name for energy in motion. They call it kinetic energy. So when I hold it up, we're going to say potential energy. And when I drop it, we're going to say kinetic energy. Let's do it together. Here we go. Potential energy. And when I drop it, we're going to say kinetic energy. Here we go. I'll hold it up again. Potential energy. Ready for kinetic energy? Here we go. Kinetic energy. Very cool. Now that's what this is all about. This baseball bat setup is fun and it's a great way of playing, but it's also so much science in one little pop-up tee, and I want to show you guys why. As I press this down, it just wants to pop back up. It doesn't even stay. When I press it down all the way, it'll click, and then all that energy is built up and it's waiting to be released, and it's full of potential energy. And if you wait patiently, it's going to get closer and closer, and when it gets to the end of that little spring, it's going to click, and it's going to transfer all that potential energy into kinetic energy. And when they get all that kinetic energy, it's going to launch up in the air. And then you talk about some real kinetic energy. You're going to use this bat to hit the ball, and it should fly. We're going to try it again.
So the spring inside here, it's kind of acting like somebody bending down right before they jump, and then boom, they release all that energy.
Exactly. There's a lot of really cool ways to demonstrate potential and kinetic energy at home. I've even used my socks before. When you grab your socks and you pull them away from your leg, they build up all this potential energy, and then you let go of your socks and it snaps back. Such a cool way. Such a cool way for potential and kinetic energy. So we're going to take this ball and this kit, and we're going to try one more time. We're going to press down with our thumb. Remember, don't use your hand. We found that when you use a hand, it's easy to accidentally flip the whole thing over or something like that. So we're going to use our thumb right in the middle, press it down, and then I'm going to put the ball there. Ooh,
Potential kinetic
energy. Oh, very cool. This time I can actually
we'll keep that ball.
Very cool. Now I have the easy project today. Now I'm not saying the roller coaster is super challenging, but the roller coaster can be super challenging. So, Mr. Fogg, show us how the roller coaster works.
Absolutely. So this is the bag that the roller coaster comes inside. It has all the pieces inside. So this is the only thing you need to build the entire roller coaster. Do you need to use all these pieces? No way. You can only use a few if you want. If you have younger, if you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you might want to use just a few pieces. So let's go over the different types of pieces that are in the kit. First off, there's a lot of these small pieces. They actually come put together, so these can twist apart. You can see through these all the way, so a marble will just drop right through. We usually use these to make the roller coaster get taller and taller and allow a place for the marble to drop.
Awesome.
We also have these cool bridges. This is a bridge, and only one side it has a hole in it. So when the marble goes down the hill, down the bridge, it drops out of the bottom. That's the bridge. We have these little pieces. I call these the feet of the roller coaster because guess what? They're the feet of the coaster. They go at the bottom. For example, this is how we could connect those two pieces and make a foot.
Very cool.
And then there's some other decorative pieces that you could use if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. Some pieces that twirl the ball down. A little grabbing piece that reaches out so it can pick it up from a further distance. And there's a lot of little pieces, including, this one's a big one. This is the chain. Now, if you remember the full-scale roller coaster, it had a big chain with around 90 pieces complete, which can be a little overwhelming for younger people. So this one might have to have a little bit of assistance from parents putting the chain together, but it's actually pretty easy once you get started and once you get going. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. And what you would do, if you want to start super simple, you could just use 2 feet. How many feet, Mr. Fogg?
2 feet.
2 feet, that's right. And we can stack this up, make it taller. Here we go. You add this. Okay, perfect. And then, Mr. Fogg, can you connect the bridge? Okay. Make sure you take note of which side has the hole in it.
All right.
That's going to be where the marble's going to end up going down the hill.
Oh, it already has a little slope to it, too.
Yeah, look at that. Cool. In fact, what you could do is it comes with all the marbles that you'll need.
Lots of them. Right now.
We can test it right now. Yeah, let's do it. So when you drop it in, you start on the side that's higher up.
Yeah, you can start on this side, but it's boring. Yeah. It just falls straight through.
Yeah, it goes straight down.
Let's try it on the bridge. Here we go.
Bridge.
Oh, very cool.
It ends up in the bottom of the feet too, so it doesn't roll away where it gets lost or sucked up into the vacuum. It gets caught in the feet.
It actually sounds like it's tumbling in there, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, let's see. So there's different pieces. What we can do Should we make it taller?
Yeah, let's make it a little bit
Add
taller.
a couple
Why not?
bridges and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to put pieces in the middle, or can I just stack bridges?
I mean, you can definitely stack bridges if you want to. There's lots of options with this roller coaster.
Alright,
So you can make it short, you can make it tall, you make it as wide and as large as the one you saw earlier.
Just gonna make it launch
There you
through
go.
all these little bridges right
Yeah, I think that's making it go back and forth like that.
Yeah, let's see if it works. Here we
Cool.
go.
The taller we make the roller coaster, the more energy we give that marble, right?
Very cool.
Yeah. Just like when you're on a real roller coaster at an amusement park, you go up and up and up and up, you gain potential energy, and then it gets released into kinetic energy.
You know, I always see those stairs on a roller coaster along the where it goes all the way to the top, and they have a little staircase. And I always picture how neat it would be when you're sitting at the top of the roller coaster and you're facing straight down. And you're like this. I always wanted to go up those stairs and lean over and whisper to somebody in there, "You have tons of potential energy right now." And they look at me and they go, "I totally do," because all that energy is just waiting to be released. It's kind of like sitting right up here, and then it's all released. It's potential and kinetic energy in a roller coaster. So cool.
Very cool, very cool. Should we make it go a little higher, a little taller?
Yeah, let's go a little higher.
All right, let's see how tall we can go.
I want to see that little the chain wheel.
The piece with the chain. Oh,
chain
okay.
wheels, yeah.
So to put together the chain and the gears pieces that are going to pull the chain and move them, you need a few pieces. You need one. It's white. It looks it's a very unique piece. It's a large white piece, so it looks like that.
Okay.
If you want to hold that one up. There's another piece that looks pretty similar that you'll need, and it's green. It looks like this one right here. So they're kind of similar. The white one's a little bit larger, but other than that, yeah, pretty easy peasy. And how do we put this together? So if you want, you can take the big gear. Let's go ahead and show them how to do the gear assembly.
Okay.
Because this can be a little tricky. So you find the large gear. There's two gears. There's small and large. I'm going to take the large black gear, and I'm going to put it onto this little green connector. It doesn't really matter how you put it on, this way, doesn't matter at all. We just snap it on. Easy. Simple. The next step, now we got to do the small gear. It looks like this. Small gear has a little white holder on the back of it. It's going to slide down and get inserted into the white piece. So we'll find the side where we see this extra rail on top. We'll bring it in here. We're going to put it like this, and it slides down into position. Yeah, we might actually get a closer up view so you guys can see a little more detail.
Let me see if I could walk up and get a closer view of how this goes. Right here. So it looks like there's a little piece right here. See if I can get into the frame. There's a little piece right there, and this has a little square, and that square just fits right in and locks in place. Yeah. Oh, very cool. All right, yeah.
That's good. Not too bad, not too bad.
Very neat.
All right. And so this can kind of show you how the roller coaster is made. So you can make a coaster that has a chain this big, not very many pieces at all, or you can, like the one we had earlier, we can make a really big chain and have it extending really high.
That seems like a lot of work.
Definitely, a lot of work. And then finally, when it comes to the chain, you have the little black pieces that come together to make the chain. There's a few very important notes when you're making this chain, and other than that, it's pretty easy. It just takes a little while to build. So these pieces, if you look at them very closely, and we'll bring them up close in a second, but they look like hooks. And so the trick is you're going to connect one to the next, to the next, to the next, and they're going to make one long chain. The trick is you have to make all the hooks face the same way when you're connecting these pieces together. I always say hooks facing down. And so I bring one, I bring it over the back of the other one, and I snap it straight on, and you hear that nice little click. That means it's clicked all the way. If it's a little difficult for you and you're having a hard time, don't worry, you're not alone. You can take this, you can set it on the table in front of you or on the floor. Take your hand and squish it down. Oh, you know what? I think I have to bring it way back here, actually. Set this on the table, and you'll take your hand and you'll squish it down like a pancake to make sure these pieces snap together all the way. And it'll make a clicking noise. It will. You'll hear the clicking sound.
I'm going to try to run one of these closer to the camera so everybody can see.
You need to?
Here. Yeah. All right. So we've got the pieces, and they're angled down. Hopefully you guys can see the little hooks. So we got the two hook shape. Now this would be the wrong way. One hook is down, one hook is up. So I'm going to hold them with the hooks both facing down, drop this hook onto here, and maybe you'll hear the click. Oh yeah, it just clicked right in there, perfect. And you know it's right because it kind of swings. This is great.
Yeah. All right, excellent. So if we actually wanted to make the functioning chain, we would snap all these pieces together. I snapped about 6 of them here. In the large one you saw earlier, I had about 90 chain pieces, but you can totally customize it. If the chain's too tight, guess what? You can snap it apart, add another link into your chain, and it should move a little bit smoother.
These look like the things that catch and carry the ball up the chain.
Absolutely. So on our main roller coaster, we have these little scoopers. I'm going to hop out really quick to grab our example. So here is our example, and you're going to see these scoopers are located here along the chain, and they can be on both sides of the chain, just like our example. The scoopers have to face a certain way. And of course, they're going to pick up the marble down here at the bottom of the coaster. Therefore, the scoopers have to be shaped like a spoon picking something up. So when they come on this side of the chain, they're facing up. And as you slowly rotate the chain, you'll notice that they're actually upside down on the other side. And to put these on, you'll see there's holes on each side of the scooper. What you need to do is you need to go to one side of the chain. You're going to connect one loop on, and then you'll go to the other side and kind of squish it on, and it connects pretty easily.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it takes a little practice, but if you're doing it on your own and you're having some trouble, ask your parents for a little hand in that step.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. It's a really good way to give it more energy, right? The chain's letting us use that energy once again. We're giving it new energy.
So if it's tipping over and falling, it looks like the pieces can actually turn too a little bit.
Yeah,
Make
so
it stand better.
Yeah, you might notice in this view, I kind of have this coaster kind of curved in a little bit. The reason I curve it in or kind of bring the edges inward is just to give it a little more stability. Because if you have it straight, it can rock a little bit easier, right? So yeah, just some different shapes you can use. And there's even some cool little features. This is a little scooper that's in the kit. And there's actually some instructions that come along to build this scooper. And those instructions are actually printed on the bag that have the scooper inside of it. So you can actually look at this picture and get some really good details on how to build the scooper, including the little pieces that the scooper attaches to.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. And as in all of our projects, if you ever have any questions or any concerns, or if you're snapping something together and it snaps, we're here to help. This is what we're doing right now. All of our schools are out right now, and so we're here to help. Send us an email, give us a call, even go to our website. There's a chat feature, and you can choose to chat. Most of the time, we're available to help you with questions and concerns about the projects. Otherwise, just send us an email. We'd be happy to get back to you with some more information.
Absolutely.
So, excellent. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed Lesson 1, Potential and Kinetic Energy Labs. Be sure to, when you're ready to move on to your next experiment, find the video for lesson 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's so many different lessons. So thanks again, guys, for purchasing our grab and go STEM package.
Yeah, and we'll see you at the next lesson.
All right, have a good day.